Charges are what users add to their timesheet. They can be named whatever you like, but typically, charges are some item that is high level, like billable or non-billable. Let's create a simple third charge here. I'll click New Charge. Only the blue fields here are required to save a new charge. I'll enter vacation. Then I'll select the vacation earning. If you don't see the earning that you need, you can create new ones under Administrator, Earnings. Now I'll click Save. The vacation charge is added. Notice the red number on the new charge. This means the charge is not assigned to anyone yet, and no one can add it to their timesheet. We must assign this charge to either a group of employees or an individual employee. I want all employees to have access to this charge, so I'll add it to all groups. All employees must belong to a group, so I know that if I assign it to all groups, all employees will have access to it. I'll click the Groups link here, and I'll select all groups and click Save. Now all employees in the system have access to the vacation charge and can add it to their timesheet. Let's add another charge. This time, let's make it a bit more complex. I'll click New Charge. This time, I'll create an overtime charge and select the overtime earning. This time, let's change the attribute settings. The attribute settings are like metadata for the charge. The overtime charge can have a client, project, and task. Default values are exactly what it sounds like. We can have a default value for the overtime charge for client and project and task. We can have up to 10 attributes. You can change the attribute data over in Administrator, Attribute Setup, and Attribute Data. You can pick from default values here. And you can prompt the employee to enter an attribute. Let's prompt for a client. Right now, a client is not prompted when the overtime charge is added. Let's change that. I'll click Change. Here, we'll prompt the employee to enter a value for the client by clicking this. Next, we want to make sure that it's required, so we'll check Employee must enter a value for client. If we didn't want it required, we can select this one, which is Employee can leave the client blank. Next, depending on if we want a free text field or to pick from a list, we'll select here. We'll pick from a list. Here, we can select only certain attributes that the employee can see, but we want the employee to be able to select any of these, so I'll select Employee can select any item in the client list. Then I'll click Save. And we can do this for each of these attributes. Don't forget, we need to assign the charge. I'll assign this one to everyone. Great. Let's add this one to our timesheet and see what it looks like. On my timesheet, I'll click Add Charge. Next, I'll select the overtime charge, the charge we just created. Notice I'm prompted to enter a client, and I can't add it to my timesheet until the client is selected. I'll click Pick and select the client. Add charge to timesheet. Notice the overtime charge, but it doesn't show the client we chose. Let's change that as well. Let's go to Administrator, Charges. Back to the overtime charge by clicking Edit. Down at the bottom, we have the format code. This determines how the charge is shown on the timesheet. If there's no format code, it defaults to only showing the charge title, which we have now. But we want it to show the charge title and then the client. So we'll click this predefined format code, Show Charge Title and Attribute 1, and then click Save. Now, back on the timesheet, we can see the charge as well as Attribute 1. Charges can be one of the more complex parts of eTimesheets. If you'd like assistance, please email us here. Thanks so much.